All right. I'm live. We think we figured out how to do this horizontally, but here we go. Okay. We didn't announce this live at all, so I feel like no one's gonna join, but that's okay. We're gonna put it up to replay. I'm coming back to YouTube, and I want to put more content here. I'm feeling very inspired by my special guest who's going to join me. You probably could guess who she is. She loves the color pink. She works here at Bien Aimée with me, and she has a YouTube channel, which is really fun to watch. I would like to introduce Julia.
Hi. I did a special entrance.
Yay. Do you guys like how we coordinated today? Julie came to work wearing this sweater, so I thought I would wear this one today.
Pink twins.
So just to preface things, we are at work. So this is...
Yes,
We're in the office right now, and there's going to probably be people walking back and forth behind the camera doing stuff. And so if you hear work sounds, it's normal because we're here working. And oh my gosh, somebody's connected. Like you can see, like I can see that one person's watching. So hi. One person, leave us a comment. I don't even know if we can see comments anymore. We used to be able to.
Doesn't look like
they changed everything, and I have no idea what's going on.
We don't know. We're trying it.
Yeah. We wanted to come online and say hi. I wanted to start posting more content here on YouTube. And I thought that we would just come and say hi and show what we're working on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm currently working on some Intarsia swatches. I'm going to be teaching my Intarsia course at Love Yarn Madrid. And I'm swatching in some of the yarn that's sponsoring my class. And so that's really exciting. And I'm having really fun playing around with colors here. The original swatches I did for my class, I usually use Wensley worsted or Corey worsted, and so here are some of the swatches that I teach in my Intarsia class. I teach all of my little tips and tricks for Intarsia. It's super fun. So that's what I'm working on now.
Love Yarn Madrid is coming up pretty quick.
Yes.
Because it's at the end of next week.
Yes, yes. So
in 10 days.
It's really exciting to be going to Madrid next week. I hope the weather is going to be nice. I remember it being really cold last year.
Oh, yeah.
I was wearing double knits. I remember it being cold, but something exciting about Madrid this year is that my daughter is going to come with me on this trip.
She's going to be your little interpreter.
Yes. She's studying Spanish as a second language at school. Actually, it's her third language. And I just thought it was a great idea. It actually was her idea. She's like, Mom, do you need anyone to help you sell yarn at the booth? And I said, what do you have in mind? And she's like, I thought I could come and, sell yarn. She would miss 2 days of school, but that's okay.
That's completely awesome.
Yeah, and so she's going to come and flex her Spanish speaking muscles at Love Yarn Madrid. So
there's no better way, really, to learn a language than to actually speak it.
Absolutely. I know from experience.
Yeah.
So I've been working on this swatch last night. I started this one last night, and I have another one that's sitting around here. Here's the one I did last night. I was playing around with some really fun techniques. On Instagram, we all get the same videos now because the algorithm just pushes that out to everyone. And it was so funny. I was doing this little non-roll, I don't know how to keep your stockinette not from rolling. And Amanda, who works with us, she's like, oh, I saw that video too last night. So I tried it out. This swatch is not blocked, but it's it makes a cute little ridge here on the bottom. I kind of like it. I might want to think about how to integrate
this. Looks like a little welt.
It's a little welt. Kind of reminds me of the welt that's like in Batad by Stephen West.
Yeah.
Could be a great design element.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so this is another one of the swatches that I teach in my Intarsia course. Julia, what have you been working on?
So I cast on a project in the yarn I got on the warehouse sale that we are currently having.
Yes.
I got 5 skeins of Onyx, which is our black core mohair. It's currently at 50% off. Just saying. Not sure how much we have left online, but we had these beautiful skeins of sari that I couldn't just let pass. So I got 5 skeins, and I'm knitting a sweater by Midori Hirose called Cherry. So this is the top I just cast on 2 nights ago. And I'm holding onyx double, and I'm doing the little dots in merino singles, held double in noir. This was just a leftover I had from my Lento, actually.
It's so good.
I am just so excited. Really, we met Midori when she came to the Bien Aimée pop-up in December.
Right.
Everything she brought was just completely beautiful and inspiring. And I feel like the cherry is the one that as soon as we put it on, we both fell in love with it.
It was incredible because she brought all of her samples for all of her design. I think all of them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
all of them. And sometimes she has 5 different samples for one sweater
design.
pattern, for one design. And she knits all different sizes and different yarns. So she uses a lot of mohair by itself on big needles, which I love, but I would rather do double mohair so that the fabric is not very see-through.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not gonna be see-through, actually,
it's
just
gonna
a
be...
little bit, but it's gonna be mostly fuzzy.
It'll be fuzzy. You'll definitely need to wear like a tank top underneath.
Oh yeah,
but it'll look really cool.
Yeah.
What I really love too is that because she knit the samples in all kinds of different yarns, it gives you lots of inspiration for what yarn to use to cast on. I walked away from that trunk show with like 5 sweaters.
Yes,
that I
me too.
Make.
Definitely. And one of my goals for this year is to knit at least one pattern by Midori Hirose. So hey, I'm already taking off my 2025 goals.
Okay, so that leads me into my next question. So we're gonna kind of stick to the Amy's Knit Lab format where I kind of interview people. So I'm gonna interview Julia. We're doing this on the fly.
What?
You ready?
Okay.
All right, so last week, was it last week? I think Julia told me, or maybe the week before, we just got back from Christmas break, and Julia told me she was going to be a monogamous knitter. And I just sat there kind of like, what? What? Because you're my cast on, you have cast-onitis, is that what you say? And I live vicariously through all the cast-ons that she does because I don't just cast on all the time.
I always say casting on is my superpower.
Yes. If you go back to the past Amy's Knit Lab videos, that is always what she says. So now, please discuss the monogamy of knitting with us.
I understand how, coming from me, this would be a very surprising news to learn, piece of news. But I feel like having a YouTube channel, the Knitting Twinnings.
Yes, well, I mean, I'll go back in the comments and put it in there. You guys should watch her and her twin sister. It's so cute.
This is really making me feel more intentional. Good morning from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh, we got messages.
I can see the comments.
Okay, sweet. So if you guys have questions, try to pop them in there and we will answer. If not, this live will be posted on my YouTube channel. I'll go back in and respond to questions in the comments. So please tell us more.
Sorry.
About your monogamy of knitting.
Yes. Having a YouTube channel where my sister and I go through our whips, what we're knitting, what we want to knit, etc. I feel like it's making me more intentional. Just having, it's like this space for reflection.
I love that so much. That's
It's
what
like
knitting does for me.
Yeah. And it's not just we sit down and we pull out our whips and say, what we've been knitting. It's what we do. But at the same time, it really makes me pause and reflect on what I want to knit and how I want to knit. So I decided, instead of casting on all the things and then feeling like nothing is moving forward, I'm going to try and work on just one project at the same time. Also, I feel like this is also the influence of Lolita, our colleague. Our colleague Lolita is a super fast knitter, but I think it's not necessarily the fact that she knits fast. It's the fact that she she always says that she has all this time to knit because she takes the train and she has all this commute. But actually, she devotes that time to knitting.
Yeah.
Every day she knows she's gonna have that time and it's just going to be for her knitting.
Yeah.
And I don't have a ton of commute and stuff, and so sometimes I just get distracted by stuff at home and I knit or I don't knit or you know. But I feel like it's really about being intentional, making sure every day I have time to knit, and I knit on just one project or maybe set a goal to finish one. Because right now I started my cherry sweater, but
She finished something before the cherry sweater.
Yeah.
So it was after you decided to do this. It was after we cast on the big fluffy cowls, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's back up to December 2024. We are doing the winter pop-up, and we had the super great Marianne Munier come. She's a French designer. You guys should check her out on Ravelry. She is prolific. She put out a free pattern using our big Kumo yarn, and we cast on.
Yeah.
And I was super inspired to cast on because Lolita cast on, Julia cast on. I was like, me too. Amanda cast on, and we're like, let's do this. So we started knitting this. So it was in between this project and the next one that you decided to become Monogamous, right? Or was it this one that...
Actually, I think it was this one, because this one I knit all in one go.
Yeah, you did. And you actually motivated me
Yeah.
to finish because I was in New York at the time working remotely, and Julia's like, I finished my big fluffy cowl, and I was sitting there going like, oh my God, me too. I want to finish it too. So it's super motivating to have somebody here who is like professed her monogamy for knitting. I want to do it too. So I'm trying to be better. So I kind of dove back into my old whips, and we'll get back to what I'm knitting here in a minute. But Julia finished the big fluffy cowl, and I finished mine too. Thanks for the motivation.
Thank you, Lolita, for the motivation.
And thank you to Lolita too. But then she cast on something super awesome afterwards.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
I decided also I'm going to volunteer for sample knitting because we always need new samples knit, right?
Yeah.
And Lolita, being such a fast and prolific knitter, she knits a lot of samples. And I was like, I also want to contribute. And so I can't knit a sweater in 2 weeks or something, but I can do accessories.
Yeah.
So I decided to volunteer for accessories. And because we were in our big Kumo obsession era.
We're still in the big Kumo obsession era, as long as it's cold.
Definitely. So we thought about doing this cowl. It is the Plumped Top cowl by Andrea Mowry. For now, it's not sewn. It's just blocked.
Yeah.
Oh, but I feel like it blocked out so beautiful.
It blocked out beautifully. And again, we're going to back up to our pop-up in December 2024. You know what? This is like making me realize that we need to do a recap of the pop-up for YouTube. So this is something we'll work on. So you guys can, if you didn't attend the pop-up, you can understand the references. We had special guest Vera Valimaki come, and she taught, and it was meet and greet, and she brought her, trunk show, and she was knitting on a new design in caramel and anemone. So these two colors, and it was super cute, and I got so inspired by that color combo. And I kept talking to Julie about it. I was like, we need something in caramel and anemone now. And then this design came out.
Yes, it came out at the beginning of December as well. And when I saw the pattern was out, I was like, brioche, yay! I haven't knit brioche in forever. And I really missed it. And I love using fluffy yarns as the background color for brioche. Oh, I feel it's like so cool. And when you're gonna wear it, you're gonna have that big Kumo against your neck.
Yes.
That's gonna be super nice as well.
But check out this combo of colors. Thanks, Vera. This is a great inspiration. Caramel on Erin and anemone on Big Kumo. Super great. And the name of the pattern is
Plumped Top Cowl by Andrea Mowry.
Yes.
So it just needs to be sewn now, which I will do later today.
Let's pretend put it on. I'll hold it in the back. How does it supposed? So when it's sewn together,
like this.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So it's gonna be all like nice and fluffy on the inside. You can even, I think you have space to turn around the top a bit so you can see both sides of the brioche.
Super.
That's super nice. And then I think the point is a bit to the side or something.
But let's talk about, you did do some modifications.
A couple. I made the large size, And because Andrea uses Plump by Spin Cycle, it's a bulky yarn. And
we use technically 2 Aran weights.
yes, Big Kumo is bulky, but you know, not super bulky. And also Aran. This is more of an Aran gauge. I just added 2 repeats to make sure the cowl was just big enough.
Yeah, so just to explain, Big Kumo is our custom spun base that I had made for Bien Aimée, and I based it off of the meterage of my merino Aran. So it's actually spun to an Aran weight. So you have 1-for-1 in meterage for each skein. So this is kind of ideal for projects like this, like a cowl, so you don't have to buy 2, because if we had used a bulky like Big Merino,
we would have needed to use 2 of each.
Yeah.
2 skeins of each color, whereas this, I still have quite a lot left.
Yes.
I could tell the dimensions were good. I just kept measuring, and the pattern gives you the dimensions that you need to get anyway. So I just kept measuring, and I knew that it was big enough. So then I just blocked it.
So all that's left to do now,
just seam the back.
Seam it right here. This is such a cool shape that Andrea has kind of integrated into a lot of her cowls.
So you can tell that it's going to be a bit asymmetric. You see the point is not in the middle.
That makes it really cool when you wear it.
Yeah, it makes it really cool to wear. So yeah, that's a new sample, fresh off the needles.
So good. So since she's been working on this and she announced her monogamy of knitting, I got inspired to dig out all my whips that I had going on last year. So the first one that I advanced on since and picked up and I'm planning on finishing very soon is my Lento.
This is exciting.
And this one I started 2 pop-ups ago, no?
Yes, when we did the spring pop-up, so that was in March, April, Jonna came and we started the Lento Cal.
Exactly. So Jonna came to the spring pop-up.
Yeah, and we did the cast on party.
Yes, and so I cast on, and I took a long time to pick yarn, because at first I was like, maybe I'll knit one in black, but then black's too hard for me to knit. I cannot see. Well, since then I've changed my glasses, so maybe I will try again.
Or maybe I'll knit you a black Lento.
Oh, you guys heard her, right?
I'm a sample knitter now. What can I say?
So I picked yellow and pink because these were my 2 favorite colors, and I really wanted to use Volute mixed with Soyeux. So Soyeux is our new mohair silk base. And I wanted to put these 2 together. So this is 50% cashmere, 50% wool. And then Soyeux is a mohair silk. Put those 2 together. And then to get gauge, this was a little too thin to get the correct gauge for the pattern. I added Felix Blanc into the mix. And it was a real revelation because I was kind of shopping around. Remember, I spent almost a week picking colors and do I want this? Do I want this? Do I want this? And I thought, well, this will be the perfect canvas for these 2 colors, which are my favorites. And it makes a fabric just like this.
It's all glowy. I don't know if we can really see. We have the light and stuff, but it's such a glowy.
And I just love the marled effect too. So this was also the time when I was designing the marled striped bandana. So I was really having marling colors on my mind. It was something that I was thinking about, and I was like, I really want a marled Lento because all of my other Lentos are solid colors. And so this, I mean, looking at it on the screen here, I really can appreciate the marl even more than in person.
Yes, it's stronger on the screen than in person. In person, it's more melty.
Yes.
The colors mix together more. And the fabric is really cool because it's both like fluffy and dry.
Yes.
Because Volute is a little bit fluffy, but not super fluffy because it's more soufflé texture.
Look at the reverse side too. It's so good. So I really worked to get gauge. So I got the same gauge as the designer indicated in the pattern. And now I'm to the point where I'm trying it on. I'm going to try it on a little bit later and take a photo. Also, I don't know. I was also inspired by Julia's Lento where she knit the really big. What did you do? You did double the length?
I did double the length of the, because it's already a folded brim, right? But she only has you do a short one. So I did a long one And also I did, that's your technique actually, casting on a size 3 and increasing to a
Yes,
size 5.
that's what I did here.
So that you cast on a smaller size at the top so it's closer to your neck.
Exactly.
And that looks super fun.
Well, I want the thicker brim, so I want my collar to kind of be like this once it's folded. So last night or the night before, I started unpicking my...
You did?
I did, because I'm not happy. I mean, I need to
You want it longer.
Longer.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm just going around and unpicking this, and then I'm going to pick up these stitches, and I'm going to see if that works, because I'm not sure that's going to work, because I did a provisional cast on here. I was like studying the stitches. I might have to do some sweater surgery, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I love it. But I want that thicker folded brim on this one. And I want to have like really thick ribbing on the sleeves. And I'm hesitating. So I put in stitch markers at the mid size on either side, because you did a split hem.
Yes, and I also did a lot of A-line shaping.
You did some A-line shaping. All right. Well, I didn't do any shaping in mine. I'm just going straight down.
Because you usually wear yours pretty cropped, so you don't need that A-line. I like mine a bit longer.
Yeah.
And so I need more space in the middle here.
So I might do a split hem. Amanda did one too, and hers looks really good. But you guys both wear your sweaters longer than I do, so I might just keep a classic.
I don't know. Maybe it could be fun to have a split hem on a shorter sweater. It could look nice.
I might try it. Let's see. So that I got inspired to pick this project up. So this project is old. It was from last spring.
Yeah, it's a few months.
Kind of. No, it's like almost
8
a
months.
year.
Yeah, but it's fine.
And it's been kind of languishing in my office, and I just was like, I need to finish it. I want to wear it. So this is going to travel with me to Madrid. I'm going to keep working on the body. I'm going to pick up the stitches for the sleeves. I have my little packing cube of yarn ready to go for my trip. So
you know what the cool part about picking up languishing whip is that you don't have to knit that whole sweater. You were almost like you only had 4 rows of raglan increases to do before you split for the. So you did that, like that is so much knitting already here.
Yeah, but look at how much knitting I did here too.
Bowie? Yeah.
And it's all because of you. She inspired me. So let's keep each other accountable. I think I will use YouTube as a way to keep my accountability for my knitting, to come check in with you guys and say like, hey, here's where I am on my Lento. So hopefully I'll have some news for you when I get back from Madrid. This is actually kind of motivating me to keep working on the YouTube channel. So thank you.
Yeah, it's a habit. I think Emilia and I now, it's this habit we have.
When do you guys film?
On Sunday afternoons, usually.
Nice.
When we have a quiet weekend and we feel like we've rested and stuff, it's a good time to, sit down.
Yeah.
Get all your knitting projects and stuff, and
you just like take them all out and just kind of lay there and look at them.
Definitely.
I would like hug them and
like we're sitting on the couch. We have 5 different project bags next to us, and then a couple FOs, and
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I should have brought my knitting notebook. I started my notebook. That should be another
let's do
episode.
knitting notebooks. I have my notebook sitting right here in front of me, but let's do that in another live, and we'll like compare our notebook love.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of a new thing for you, and it's kind of an old thing for me. But we'll talk about that. I wanted to also show something else. So I've been doing some crochet of these like granny squares. Initially, I had started to crochet these for a different design called Jethro by Tanis Lavallee. But now I'm just going to keep making these granny squares and then maybe make it into a vest. Or like a vest cardigan. I don't want for it to be a pullover vest, but like a vest cardigan.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
These are my 4 colors.
For me, it's like you can do a little vest, like a little, something cropped and a bit of like V-neck and something like that. Like it's really.
That's going to require me to do some like little triangle grannies, which I've already done before. But these are my colors so far. So I'm using 4 colors. Let me pull out the yarn. It'll be easier to show you guys. So these are the colors I'm using on Wensley worsted. And obviously I wanted a neutral and a neon mixed together because just like I wrote a whole book about that. And I didn't bring the main color. Oh, I did. Here it is. I have, this is going to be the main color that's going to bring them all together. So I have,
Is it avoine or sansa?
that is Avoine.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Avoine
Yeah.
on Wensley. This is Sansa. So you see the difference?
Oh, yeah, that's a beige and that's a pink.
And once
for
I
sure.
use the Avoine, it brings the square together like this. So that's the final row here. So this will be the color that I use for constructing the granny squares into a vest. So now, since I've decided I want to make a granny vest button down, I have to do like the half triangles here and just do the placement. It's going to be really great. Lolita's sneaking by. Lolita, you want to come say hi? We're live on YouTube.
Oh.
Come show. Plus, she's got the best
she
outfit
looks
on.
so cute.
This is Lolita. She's in charge of my sales team downstairs. So if you order from the online store, Lolita is there with her team. And she's wearing her Lento in Hella, Kumo, and singles.
And Twist Nouveau.
Twist Nouveau. And Hella, Twist Nouveau, and Kumo. And she's got her big fluffy cowl. So just like what Julie and I made. This is so cute. Look at us being so cute.
And we all did different size
stripes. Let's put them on.
Fun.
See? So she did it just like the pattern was written. Was it 10 rows?
10 rows for each stripe.
And Lolita, you did 4 rows stripes. And I did 6 row stripes. So
All the stripes.
all the stripes. Free pattern on Ravelry. We will definitely come back and put this in the
comfy.
comments. So thanks, Lolita.
Thank you.
Bye.
She's the one who inspired me to knit more.
Yes, she's prolific. She comes in every week with something new that's knit.
Debbie. Hi, ladies.
It's amazing.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. So coming back to my granny squares. So yeah, so these are all the centers, and I will use the Avoine Wensley to crochet
To put them all together.
the edge like that.
Ooh.
Right? So I'm gonna
That's super exciting.
I'm gonna start to map it out. I have a good quantity actually of granny squares. It's like a clown bus. It just keeps coming out. So I have all of this done already, so it's pretty
gosh,
good.
yeah,
This is pretty much the front. This is enough squares for the front and the upper back of the vest. I already laid it out on my bed and did some calculations of gauge. Once I crochet in the outer edge of this one. So stay tuned. This will probably be a new design.
Maybe a new crochet design. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to work on this. I love granny squares. Honestly, it's my favorite thing to crochet.
Sure.
I recently just took out my Babette blanket by Catherine Merrick. I'll have to post some photos of it. And it's all granny squares that it was like my very first crochet blanket that I ever made. And I want to make another one now. So stay tuned for more crochet content here.
Yes, please.
So yeah. All right. So Julia has a podcast and it's called
The Knitting Twinnings.
The Knitting Twinnings, and she's on there with her twin sister.
Yes.
And what's really fun to watch them is that they're both different knitting personalities. You guys knit different colors. Do you knit the same pattern sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little overlap there.
Yeah. She's a bit more into color work. Right now, she's really in a color work kick. I've never been so very into color work knitting.
Except in Tarja. You started doing a little in Tarja.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But Intarsia is one color at a time, right?
But it's still considered a color work technique.
Yes, it's true. For me, the problem is about doing 2 colors at a time because of how I throw yarn and how I tension the yarn as well. You know, I twist it around my finger twice. I have to untwist it, put the yarn down, pick it up, twist it again, etc. It's not a technique I love doing. But yeah,
but
we're
she does
pretty
love
different.
knitting brioche. And I will knit brioche if I have to. She actually likes fixing brioche. Tell me the funny story. Tell everyone the funny story you told me this week or last week.
Yeah. In order to make myself knit more, in the evening, I try to put my phone down.
Which is really good.
It doesn't work every night. Like last night it didn't work. But I try to put my phone down around 9:30, and then I'm not allowed to look at it anymore. And usually I knit in my bed, and sometimes I fall asleep on top of my bed while I'm knitting.
Imagining you
It
like
was
this.
January. Everyone, I feel like in January, everyone is tired and falls asleep, you know. And so I kept falling asleep knitting the Plumped Up cowl. Me too, Debbie. Yes, thank you. And so in the morning, I would have to fix all my mistake because I would brioche purl instead of brioche knit, or you know, just falling asleep and then waking up and thinking I have to finish this row, and then falling asleep again mid stitch or something. So it was great because it really forced me to learn to fix my mistakes in brioche, and now I know that I can fix if I forgot to do a yarn over, if I did a brioche purl instead of a brioche knit, etc. Like, it's really not difficult fixing mistakes in brioche. You just have to remember you need your yarn over. And yeah.
Good advice. Follow her on her YouTube channel for more of her adventures in knitting. I think one of the things that people are very curious about is like what we work on here at Bien Aimée. So I think starting to film the lives here will help us talk about more what's going on at Bien Aimée, especially on the team that's really close to me. Julia helps me with social media. She pretty much just kind of runs the Bien Aimée account now, which has been a huge mental load taken off of me. It leaves me more time to work with my teams downstairs. So downstairs is the dye team and the sales team, and then I also have a lot of creative work that I need to work on. So
it's such a time.
It really is. I did not realize how much time it took until I actually delegated it and really delegated it 100%, right? So today's Wednesday, we have a dedicated social media morning, right? And so this morning we beautified some swatches. And so I thought it would be fun that when we go live, and we're going to probably try to do this on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Is to show some of the work that we did. So we're not going to go through all the colors of yarn, but maybe Julie will organize and pull out some of the minis for these swatches. But again, that looks really cool. Look, it's like a mountain.
What are you both wearing? Oh, we'll talk about that later.
We got a mountain of yarn right in front of
yeah,
the
that's so
camera.
pretty.
Winter Pop-Up was very inspiring for me. Meeting Midori Hirose was for me kind of like a life goal. She's a designer that I've always been very inspired by.
She's incredible.
And we hit it off, and it was a really great moment for us to spend time together talking and getting to know each other. We actually have a lot in common. We realize that we're the same age, and it's just really, really cool. And trying on all of her samples, I just got super inspired. And one of the designs that I absolutely had to make for the pop-up and always wanted to have was the Paul Klee sweater. So this was my palette that I created.
So it's all pinks and a bit of yellow in there.
I mean, it's obvious, right? So these are not knit to scale. These are like mini. We made a bunch of mini swatches. These are very helpful for us when we are at the pop-up, but also for photographing and making kits.
And it was really about putting the colors together, and because also it has your name written all over it. Yeah, of course, it's Amy's palette, this one. All the pinks and the yellows.
Yeah. And with Avoine as the background, we simplified. So these bundles are something that we're currently working on to get online a little bit later this spring. We chose mindfully the background color for each of these swatches, which is integrated into the yoke. That helps to bring a lot of continuity to the colors that are being knitted together. Also, some of these bundles, if you look at the bundles that, the color combinations that Midori Hirose has put together, there can be up to like 20 colors in there. And so we also wanted to be mindful about the number of colors and how many skeins are in each bundle. So each of them are kind of harmonized. Sometimes I can't speak English anymore. Harmonized, and I'm speaking French now. That's like literally something I would say in French. Using the same background color all the way through the yoke. Here's another one here. And this one was inspired by one of Midori's palettes.
Yes,
this one.
She had a dark version I don't know if it was her original or something.
Yeah.
So we did it with Helix Moria as the background color. It makes it really dramatic.
I love seeing this on the screen because we can see the contrast of all the colors. This one's such a great like unisex palette. During the pop-up, this one spoke to a lot of people.
Yes. We use this as a basis because this is like our interpretation or our choice. But then
there's mine, which is very much me.
Yeah. People could choose to change the background color or to, if there was one color they didn't want in there, to add another one. It was such a fun thing to do.
You can imagine like
clients.
You can take the yoke bundle and replace the main color Moria and put any color you want in here. If you wanted to have more of a lighter version, this palette would look super great with peach sweater. I mean, honestly, all of these colors, like you could take in the Shire or the Hegelia would be super nice. So you could take a yoke bundle. So we make our bundles for our yokes possible to plug into any main color that you would like. And we use the Helix, Felix, and Alix collection, which we affectionately call the Leaks collection, for these palettes. We have done this for Wervel from my book Neons and Neutrals, and it has continually been a really bestseller on our website. So we're going to soon have Paul Klee bundles as well. I wanted to show this really special one here. I mean, this one is inspired by this event in New York called A Woolen Affair. If you saw the logo, maybe I have it.
Hang on.
I think yours is better. Yes. So you can see this is the logo for A Woolen Affair. And we pulled out each of the colors and then matched it to a matching Helix, Felix, or Alix. It's
all like the jewel tones.
Look at this.
It is so beautiful.
So I'm saying it right now. This is my Rhinebeck sweater. So you'll see me this fall walking around wearing a Paul Klee sweater, and it would be so fun.
Amazing.
So yeah, so this inspiration came to me after the winter pop-up. Midori Hirose just blew my mind. We have 3 sweaters of hers on the needles right now with my sample knitters that we're preparing for my spring pop-up. So we will be showing those off. It's very exciting.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So this is something that we worked on like literally before this live. So this morning.
Yeah. So you're gonna see these swatches pop up in a couple of our upcoming reels. Because on Wednesday morning we sit down together and film you doing stuff, and then we edit the reels, and sometimes I talk over them or I keep.
Like last week, I talked over them. I didn't even realize I was doing the voiceover. I was just talking.
It's so funny because you just talk to yourself while you're making stuff. And so I was just filming you. And then I managed to edit and keep and it's so funny because you were like, silk tweed.
I know, I was being like...
You were just talking to yourself.
So now we're going to try to keep that energy. So we'll see in the next videos. The next videos we filmed for this week are more musical videos and things like that we're going to be focusing on.
But it's just to show you a little bit, what we do. And, we worked on these Paul Klee bundles, and then we're gonna photograph them. It's all in the goal of offering them online for you to knit afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd like to put more content here on YouTube so that we can interact more and stay in touch. And so we are at the 38-minute mark for this live, so I think it's time to wrap things up because, we do need to start our work day here. Please, if you made it this far, thank you. Bravo. You are a wonderful person. I hope you had your knitting and you can just sit there and join us. Leave us comments below to let us know if there's other things that you'd like to see. I know one thing that a lot of people ask about is what's going on back here. And so this is my library of samples, and this is not even all of them. And this would be something that I would love to go and be like, let's talk about this sample today, and just pull something out and kind of show it. And if people have requests to see things, I would love to talk about them. You can see all my samples on my Ravelry. Go search for Put Your Flair On. That's my OG Ravelry handle before I had Bien Aimée.
Yeah, and it's all linked every time we post a photo of you wearing one of the samples. I usually link to your project page on Ravelry, so you can use the link in bio in Instagram, for example, to get there. Or maybe I'll create a new button in the link tree.
I think we should create a new button for the link
so
tree.
that people can go and find, because we have one for Ravelry pattern bundles.
Yeah.
But we should do that for your project pages as well. Just before we finish, someone asked what we are wearing.
Oh my God, you read my mind. I was sitting here going like, we have to remember to talk about our knitwear. See,
we spend too much time together.
We have a lot of synergy because we spent a lot of time together. All right, so you start.
Oh, I'm wearing my Saila sweater. Saila is Jonna Helin pattern. So Jonna is the director of Len magazine, and I feel like her patterns are always my favorite. Always. And so this one is Saila, and I knitted in Bouclé and Félix in Fluoro Marganite.
Yes.
These two bases are currently on the warehouse sale at 30% off.
Oh, that's right.
Just saying.
Go and get them. I am wearing the Kumo sweater by Julia Wilkins. Man, this one, I love this sweater so much. Look at this like kind of dolman shape here. I knit bracelet length sleeves, so it's really nice. So like when I'm working, I don't have my sleeves in the way.
Good.
Yeah.
Like
fabric. It's
Kumo.
a mix of Kumo and Felix.
Yeah, it's just the perfect fabric, I feel.
Perfect fabric. I love the construction.
Yes.
There's a little bit of gymnastics here to do this, but it is worth it, you guys. Look at this perfect
good.
triangle stripe right here. And I knit it cropped. So the original has, I think, 2 more stripes than what I like to wear. And let me just stand up and show you why I knit my thing so short. It's because I'm always wearing dresses like this. And look where my pockets are. I hate it when my sweaters are over my pockets. And the pockets are kind of low on this dress, but I mean, I just love how this looks. It gives my silhouette the perfect cut. So that's the reason why I like to knit things cropped, because it fits my body better. So, Kumo sweater by Julia Wilkins. We have the Saila by Jonna Helin. These are patterns that are available on Ravelry, and we'll make notes in the comments. Thanks, Debbie. So thank you everyone for joining. I currently see there's like 24 people who've joined in this live. That's amazing. We didn't even like announce or promote.
No, and it's like the middle of Wednesday morning for us in Paris.
Yeah. Maybe we'll make this a regular thing that will go live on Wednesdays, and so that you guys can put it into your calendar and join.
Nice. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi. And we'll definitely save these onto YouTube so that anybody can come back and watch them. So
yeah.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. I don't even know how to turn this off, but we're going to try. Bye.
Bye.